Hi guys, it's Lucas from Sports Review. Here's my review of the England vs All Blacks game from Twickenham. Okay, what a game. It's just finished and the All Blacks have prevailed 16-15. It was a hell of an arm wrestle the whole way. England came out strong and they were up 15-0 in no time at all. The All Blacks had to graft back to get it back to 15-10 at half time. They did that through a few lucky breaks and then a key decision from Kieran Reid about 4 minutes out from half time to take a scrum, try and go for the 7 points instead of the 3 points that was on offer. They ended up getting the 7 points with a try to Damian McKenzie, converted by Brodie Retallick, and then from the ensuing kickoff, Owen Farrell puts it out on the full, and we go downfield and end up kicking a penalty going into half-time 15-10 down. So a mega arm wrestle in the torrential rain, so much wet ball made expansive rugby a complete no-go, so we just had to graft it out and do as best we could in the conditions that were given. We came out in the second half, and Brodie Retallick was absolutely on fire at line-out time, stealing every other ball from their line-out and pretty much turning the game on its head. We kicked 2 penalties in the second half, and those were the only scoring plays. But right at the end of the game, England scores a try from a charge-down box kick from TJ Perenara. Courtney Laws is judged offside probably 3 or 4 minutes from time, taking that try away from them, and then we just grind out the victory. It was a hell of a wake-up call. It's funny because England is one of these teams that no matter how badly they're going, and they have been going really, really poorly this year, they just grow another leg when they play the All Blacks. And South Africa was the same earlier this season. They were going poor, beaten by a few teams that they shouldn't have been beaten by, and then they come out against the All Blacks and they look like the best in the world. England looked really, really good today. They were completely up for it. It is Armistice Day, so they were remembering all the World War I veterans and everything that happened there. It has a whole lot of emotion attached to it, and they were just so up for the game. Big, big thumbs up to England. They brought their A game today. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to win the game, but it will stand them in good stead for next year's World Cup. They know that they can foot it with the best in the world, and they can come out on top. Had that call not gone their way, they would have won the game. For the All Blacks, they kind of continue on, but at least they know a few of the areas that they need to clean up on, and they needed to start the game better. They got found out on defence, playing too narrow, and then just England spun it wide and found a lot of space where there shouldn't have been space. But that's okay. Just one of those things that we need to tidy up for next week against Ireland. The All Black juggernaut rolls on, and obviously it's moving into a World Cup year, so that's what they're working towards. What we need to do is really tidy up our set piece and keep that mentality of winning in the forefront of our minds. All of us as New Zealand rugby fans need to get behind them. Obviously there were a couple of players had off days. Sonny Bill, who's always in the limelight for being criticised about his game, he had an off day. What's he going to do? I'm not the hugest Sonny Bill fan, but it is pissing rain, So his game is nullified somewhat, and he can't play his natural game. He did the best he could, but then he got pulled a lot earlier than what he would have liked, sort of in the first half. Ryan Crotty came on and really steadied the ship. Ryan Crotty played really well. The All Blacks players of the game, obviously Brodie Retallick, man of the match. But I thought Ardie Savea carried the ball with a lot of vigour, and he's had a pretty good tour. So he'll be knocking on that door for more minutes, not just an impact player off the bench. I did say this a couple of weeks ago when we played Australia. Crotty when he came on. McKenzie was a little bit up and down, but he had some flashes of brilliance. Same with Bowden Barrett. But all in all, it was more of a team effort than one player doing lots of great things. So the team grafted together really, really well. It's what you want to see from a team, and ground out the victory. So, got to be happy about that. The victory is not all that matters, but getting the victory certainly helped. When you've been put under a hell of a lot of pressure and you've come out the other side with the win, it's a good feeling. Alright, that's enough from me. I'll sign off for now, and we'll see you next week in Ireland.
Dun, 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 dun. Ticky, ticky.
Wiki, wiki.
Dun, dun, dun.